Today I'm going to talk to you about using a website called Tagxedo to create a word cloud. A word cloud is a picture that is made up of words. The example that I'm showing you on my screen is obviously the Facebook thumb like this, and then I filled it with words that are about me as a teacher. Today your goal will be to create a word cloud about yourself. You'll choose a picture that is about you or that represents you, and then fill the cloud with words that describes you, things that you like, traits about yourself, things like that. Word clouds could also be used for something other than just for fun. You could use them in class projects if you wanted to show your vocabulary that way. You could use it on a poster, or as you can see, the picture I'm showing on my screen is actually an image. So you can insert that image into a PowerPoint or into a presentation, or you could use it other places as well. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to take you to Tagxedo and walk you through how to create that word cloud. It's fairly easy. So when you go to tagxedo.com, this is the screen that you will see on the home page. Here is how to spell Tagxedo when you're looking for it. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Create over here. When Tagxedo loads, it may take just a second, it gives you a default picture and it gives you default text. So it fills in those words for you. We'll go through this website by looking over here on the left-hand side and go from top to bottom. So the first thing here is load, and that's probably the only thing that is not very descriptive on this website. Load is where you're going to go to enter the text. So how it knows Mother Earth and all that kind of stuff is where you'll type it here under load. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then you can enter in your text here. So I'm just going to put in things like Jansen and things that represent me, HHS, teacher, I like running, I like chocolate, my kids, my husband, my dog, things like that. After you type in your list, you can click submit over here on the right. Sometimes it takes just a second for it to load. You can see it running here along the bottom. And now I have the same shape that was given there, but it filled in with my text. Okay, we're going to skip save and share at the moment and go down to theme. Theme is how it picks the colors. So right now it has a blue theme. If you want a different color scheme, you can look here. My criteria for your assignment is that you can choose any color scheme that you want as long as it has a white background. And a quick way to look at that is, like, for example, the one I'm highlighting right now, you can see the colors of the squares, and it's outlined in a white outline. That one, if I choose it, you can see it changes the colors, but it keeps a white background. If I go down to this one, let's say here, it has like an orange-brown background, so when I click it, you can see it fills in that color. So you can choose any of these that you would like for the assignment as long as it has a white background. Okay, underneath theme we have font, so that's the way the text looks. So right now it's kind of boxy. When I click on this drop down, here are the options that you have. You can choose any of these that you like. Choose something that fits your personality. Okay, you can see that switch there. Orientation, so the direction of the text. Do you want it to go any direction? Do you want it to go just left and right? Do you want it to go up and down, horizontal, vertical, or you can have it go up and down at the same time. You can choose whatever you like there. Okay, a couple of other things. Shape, this one. Right now I'm not really thinking that this shape represents me. So Tagxedo gives you this gallery here, which is great. A lot of times you can find one that interests you just in the pictures that they give you. I'm going to go ahead and just choose an apple for a teacher. And when I click it, it loads it and it takes my text and puts it in the shape that I chose. Pretty simple. If you do not want a shape from the gallery, you can choose your own shape. This requires you to go online and find the shape and save it, and you can choose Add Image here. Once you've saved the image to your computer, you would use this to go ahead and find where that image is stored and upload it that way. You can also choose Add Words, and you can type in, let's say I wanted my picture to just say Jansen, or I wanted it to say happy, or something like that. I could type that in and change it here. I do need to warn you with that. A lot of times the text doesn't come out that great and it doesn't fill in all the letters. So it's something you can try, but sometimes it doesn't work the best. History. So let's say you make a bunch of changes and you decide you do not like what happened. You can go to history and this will allow you to go back. So if I didn't want the apple, but maybe I wanted the blue one that I started with here, I could click it and it would reload that picture. So it's kind of like an undo, but you can go back that way. Layout options. By default, Tagxedo does not allow you to put in numbers. So even if I would have typed a number back in the beginning with all my other text, it doesn't display here in my cloud. So if you're interested in numbers, I know a lot of you are interested in putting like the number you have for sports or your lucky number, things like that. You'll have to go here to layout options. And there are many things you can mess with in here and you're more than welcome to play with them. But one of the ones that I noticed is words. Under this word tab and under numbers by default it says no. So if you change this to yes, it will simply go ahead and allow those numbers to be added to your word cloud. Okay, when you're finished, you can go ahead and save this. There are many options to save. I'm going to go ahead and click on save here at the top and you'll see there are many things under image. The one that I'm going to suggest that you use is over here, 16 MP PNG. And then you'll go ahead and save this in the folder that we created for your class. So whatever block folder that was with your name is where I'd like you to save this file. Now for your assignment. I talked a little bit about it in the video, but here are the specifics. So you are to create a word cloud about yourself. Choose a shape that represents you. I must be able to recognize the shape. Usually when you choose one from the Tagxedo gallery, that's not a problem, but sometimes when you choose a custom shape from online, it's hard for me to make out what that shape is if the text doesn't fill in very well. So make sure that it's something that if I looked at it, I would be able to recognize what that was. You need to include your name, first and last, in the word cloud. If you want the name to stay together, your first and last name to be next to each other, you're going to have to not leave a space or Tagxedo will separate them. So I recommend that you use a capital letter at the beginning of your first name and your last name and do not use a space between it. And that will allow it to stay together and then show both your first and last name. Your name should be the biggest word in the cloud, or at least the most prominent. When I look at your word cloud, I want to know it's yours. So you may need to mess with the layouts or the orientation to get your name to be in a space that you can see it very well. It may be just that the color is a dark color so it stands out. You can also type your name more than once when you're typing it in the list, and sometimes that will also help making it bigger than the other words in the cloud. And last but not least, I would like you to have that white background that I talked about when we were dealing with theme. So that's another criteria that you'll be graded on with your word cloud. And like I mentioned in the video earlier, you're going to save this in your class folder and we're going to call it All About Me Word Cloud. And when everyone is finished, we'll walk through together how to print it.